Alrighty, we are on. Well, welcome everybody to our Tuesday night team Zoom. I'm super excited to have everybody on this week, and I'm excited that we were able to all get on with no interruptions. I know last week was kind of crazy, so this was awesome not to have to stress about it. I did upgrade our account so we can fit more people on our Zooms now. So super excited to have you guys all on. For anybody who is new, my name is Crystal Pearl. I'm one of your ambassador Diamond Uplines. My husband Josh Pearl. And this is something that we do every single night or every single week. This is our Tuesday night team Zoom. And this is our time to really just come together as a team. And we always like to say we like to give you the meat and potatoes. We love to give you some skills that you can take with you, kind of leave the fluff behind and give you some skills that you can take with you to really help you to build your business throughout the week. So we love Tuesday nights getting together with you guys. Sounds like somebody got on.
Minute time.
Okay. If your microphone gets unmuted for any reason, it's in the left-hand corner. You can mute yourself. But we're super excited for tonight's team Zoom. It's something that we've been talking all week about, and we're excited about it because this week we're going to talk about the importance of plugging in and what that means and why you should get to events and why you should get on Zooms. You know, we say it all the time that plugging in is so important, but why is it so important? And so we're excited about tonight. We're excited for you to hear some of the stories of the people that we have on. Events are very near and dear to our heart because I know for me it was a game changer in my business, and I know for you coming on board it was a huge thing, and you and your belief in this company. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But one of the things that I think is so powerful about events is, you know, I've said before that if you want to feel the heat, if you want to feel the excitement, you got to get near the fire. And that's where the fire is. That's what events are. They're that fire, that excitement, people who are pumped up and excited. And you're going to be like the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And the people who are successful, the people who are excited are the people who are at events. And so we have obviously the second biggest event of our company of the year is coming up in June. And so we thought that this would be a great time to talk about events because I know there might be some of you on here that are kind of debating, oh, should I invest? Should I take the time off of work? Should I go all the way to Florida to go to this event? Is it really going to change my business? Is it really going to change my life? I hear that, but what is it going to do? And so we thought that it would be a really good week to talk about this, so that you can kind of get some information to decide if it would be a good fit for you. So let's start with you, Josh, and then we'll kind of go over to the people that we're going to be interviewing tonight. But maybe if you just want to share with everybody just really quick, for people who are new, a little bit about our backstory, because you were not supportive in the beginning. You did not come on board or believe in this company until I was Presidential Diamond, which is crazy, right? But maybe you want to share a little background on that and then talk about what an event did for you and your belief.
So yeah, I was a non-believer when Crystal joined the biz. I was a non-believer in the network marketing thing. I didn't know what network marketing was, never heard that term. I just heard pyramid scheme. So that was my automatic thought about the whole thing. So it's extremely closed-minded, stubborn, and had nothing to do with any of this. And then the products, that was a whole nother story. I kind of thought if you're going to lose weight or get fit, that means get to the gym and quit eating junk. So I was pretty stubborn in both areas, and all that obviously caused a little scuffle in our relationship and whatnot. So what happened about it is Crystal continued to prove me wrong, and eventually she got me to an event. I would say the most absolute, like the pivotal changing moment for me was conference. Getting me to conference is where I got to see somebody tell a success story, you know, other people up there on stage telling their success story, and, you know, whatever obstacles they had to go through to get to where they are. And, you know, you got to see them express their emotion of just how grateful they were for the journey that they were on and whatnot. So I got to relate with some different stories, and I was like, damn, we're going to be up there telling our story one day. You know, it's kind of where you have that, if you're competitive at all and you're going to see somebody up there and you'll be like, I'm going to be up there telling my story. They're telling my story and I'm sick of it. I'm going to be up there telling mine. So you're going to relate with different people. So events are huge for that. You know, like Crystal said, catching the fire. You're going to see people there that are on fire, that have a true vision for what this company can do, what these products are doing, and you're going to catch the fire. You're going to catch the excitement that they have. On top of that, you're going to make friends, stronger friendships, and we talk about sideline connections and whatnot. Some of our best friends we've met through events. You find, stay close to the fire. That means you're finding new Facebook friends. There's people that I follow still today for inspiration that I've met through events. I'm like, damn, I like, the way they talk. I like what they're doing. I'm going to continue following this person. You end up growing friendships because of it. And then, like we talked about me being a non-believer and why, my belief grew. It was because of Dr. Don up there talking about the products and explaining to us, what these products are all about. And he just has a great way of, I guess the best way I could say it is like dumbing it down or whatever. He just has a great way of presenting the products. So I was really excited to start using the products, but I was also ready to start promoting the products because I wasn't going to promote something I didn't know, what it was yet. And then I guess the belief in the business, the network marketing thing, or the belief in it works, where's this company going to be, the whole idea of like, oh, them things only last a couple of years. It's kind of my mindset going into this thing or whatever. Getting there and seeing the backbone of this company, seeing Mark Pentecost, Cindy Pentecost, seeing what this corporate was all about, their vision for the future. And then, I'm talking about my first event, our big event was conference. Me being to many events now and seeing the continued vision and seeing them like chase the vision and actually like, so there's different marks in this business that we've been able to see them reach goals. And they throw a goal or a vision out there, and then for them to capitalize on it, that just builds belief, it builds fire, and we ain't going nowhere except to the top, right? So we're just pumped up. So it just, all in all, events are just going to fire you up and they're going to build your belief. That's really what it is. Events are going to build belief. And Tony Robbins has a phenomenal video on belief. And I know this is a little off subject or whatever, but sometimes we talk to people or whatever, and we're like, oh my gosh, this person would be amazing. Oh my gosh, they talk so well. They're great with people. They're not, they're not shy. They have all the potential in the world. Oh man, if I could just have them in my business, they would just light this thing up. Well, I'll tell you what, you can bring anybody into this business, but if they don't believe in it, they don't believe in the products, they ain't going to do nothing. So Tony Robbins has this phenomenal video that kind of talks about this like circle of success or whatever. He has these boxes. And so you can check that out. I won't go off on that, but I'm telling you, when you build belief, it builds potential. You're going to expose your full potential because you're going to understand what you got your hands on, yes, this business has changed our life and we believe more because of it. There ain't nobody, whoever approaches, when there's two people in conversation, the person that's most certain in the conversation is going to be the influencer, right? There ain't nobody that's going to tell me this stuff don't work. There ain't nobody that's going to tell me this business is crap, right? My belief is through the roof. And it's because of events. It's because of what we've seen. So, but yeah, that's next to all this, it's sure, it's cool to build belief, and sure, it's cool to understand the products and the business or whatever. But again, they put together these panels. This is a whole nother, this is like, so here we are, you figure Ambassador Diamonds or whatever, been in the business for 6 years. What more could they learn? Why do they need events? I'm telling you, we need events. And it's for a few reasons, because everybody goes in slumps, right? You go like this, you're just rocketing through the business, everything's great, phenomenal, going good. And then all of a sudden, wham, you get smoked. Success doesn't look like this. It's like this. It's all over, right? So it's either you need the event or the event needs you. And so there's times in our business we need the event. There was something I wanted to say quick. Shoot, I kind of forgot what it was. Dang it. Oh, business tips, business building tips, dude. They put together panels. And so these are people, they're doing well with the business. They're on fire. They're tearing this business up. And they recognize them by putting them on a panel and having them get up there and just spill the beans. What are you doing? What's happening? And they interview them with questions. And you're going to get phenomenal business building tips. My whole point was we've been in this business for 6 years. And I tell you what, we're still learning. Everybody's still learning. So to hear people up there just kind of sharing, what it is that's getting them the success that they're seeing is absolutely phenomenal. We just told, like, most recently, we were at a smaller A-Works event. We were at a boot camp down in Arizona. I have like 6 pages of notes, business building notes, like tips from leaders and stuff. So, it was phenomenal stuff. And then I'll just leave you with this. I've never seen Mark, Pam, and Mike so on fire as they are right now. And it's because they were just recognized at the DSN. They were recognized DSN for, I think, like number 30 or something like that. 33 in network marketing companies. And there was a Zoom today or whatever, and he says that just gives me 33 more reasons to go to work every day. That guy wants number one, and he's gonna get it, right? 33 more reasons. You should have heard these guys speaking. They were just spilling it. right from the chest. We got to see him like a little bit so fired up that there was like a tear in his eye. Like he had to like kind of like do a little sniffle. Like these guys are fired up. So if you want to see what this business has to offer, you're going to hear it. There's an event coming up. If any of you are going to Michigan, it's going to be phenomenal. Grand Rapids, they're going to light it up. Actually, Mark was there at this last event. Sorry, I'm going off here. Mark was at this last event. They had a family member pass. And, him, Cammie, and Kyler were kind of like, should we continue? Should we make it to Arizona, or should we just stay back with the family? Whatever. And they're like, no, we should go. Let's go. And we'll just fly out early tomorrow morning, and we'll make it, to the funeral or whatever. So they decided to be there. And I'm telling you what, he wanted to be there for the whole event, but he couldn't because of this event, the situation, unfortunate situation. But he said, I'm going to be there in Grand Rapids, and I'm going to light it up. I'm going to be there for the whole thing. So I'm telling you, if any of you can make it to Grand Rapids, it's going to be one heck of a show.
Absolutely.
But that's what I'll leave you with. We got some other big leaders that are going to share what they think about events.
Yes, absolutely. We're excited. And yeah, just to touch on that just a little bit, I love what you said, that we've been in this business almost 7 years, it'll be 7 years in July, which is just insane. But I remember my first conference, I think there was only like 2,000 people there. Like it was really small. And so to be able to hear Mark and Pam get up on stage, Mike wasn't even in the business at this point, to hear them get up on stage and talk about where this company is going, and that one day they see us in an arena with the chairs filled and what the future was going to be, and then to still go to conference this year and see their vision come to life. Like there's power in that, and that's helped our belief, because we know without a shadow of a doubt that we are with a company that has a strong vision and that's hungry. And so we know that this is a company that is going to be around for a very long time because they set those visions, and we've got to see them cross those goals off. So it's just really fun to know your leadership and know who you're following.
I just got the same chills right now as I did walking into that arena. When I walked into that arena this year, and it was, just lit up with green and lit up with all the It Works distributors up there in the stands and whatnot. I was like, no way, holy, it's crazy. So it's something exciting to be a part of. There is no excitement that can top being a part of an event like that. Like Crystal says, if there's an event to get to, it's conference. But I tell you what, if you can stretch yourself and you can make it to one of the smaller events, if you can make it to green carpets, like a mini conference, it's absolutely it's a life changer for your business.
Yes, absolutely. And events, no matter what they are, even the smaller events, if you have team meetings in your area, or if you don't, like create a small team meeting with your local team, if you have a local team. Those are powerful. One team, one mission, boot camps, all that kind of stuff is so awesome. But definitely, if you can get to a big corporate event, conference or green carpet, those are the two big ones. I just really encourage you to make it happen, because what happens is people go, I always say there's 3 things you need to be successful in a business like this. You need belief in the industry, so belief in network marketing. You need belief in your company, and you need belief in yourself. And an event is going to help you get belief in all 3 of those things. And so it really is just the perfect setup for that. And so I really 9 times out of 10, the majority of people that go to these events, their checks double right after the event. So if you think, is it worth it? Is it an investment, a place that I should put my money? There's no better investment than investing in yourself. So it will be worth it, and it will pay you back tenfold. So, all right, let's move on to the next person. So next we're going to interview Natalie, and I'm super excited about this one. Natalie, are you on? You have to unmute yourself.
Natalie has a little bit of a story to tell.
Yes. Yay. I'm so excited. So Natalie, you had a crazy month last month, and tell me how to say your last name. I was asking Josh, and I'm like, I'm going to totally butcher it.
It's called, it's Sahutska.
Okay, yeah, I would have totally butchered it. Okay.
That's why I just go by Natalie Nicole. It's just a little bit easier.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So you just went double diamond last month. How pumped are you?
Super pumped. It's still all, sinking in, but I'm very excited.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, we're super excited to hear your story. So let's just start with you sharing with a little bit about, where you live, how long you've been in the business, and just a little bit about your story and how you got to where you are today. And then if you just want to touch a little bit about what getting to an event did for you, that would be awesome. So I'll just let you kind of take it away.
Okay. Hey guys, my name's Natalie. I am 26 years old, and Johnny and I live in Tampa, Florida. He's my, significant other that works the business now with me. However, he is on a men's Zoom, so I'm in the bedroom and we're trying to both be quiet to, to not interfere. So I started the business actually a year ago. My 1 year anniversary is May 10th, so it's crazy that it's already coming up. But I was a big skeptic. My background is in personal training and bodybuilding bikini. I always believed in exercise and diet, just like Josh said. I was like, I don't need no rap. Like, I was always turned off by the idea until the right person that was also in fitness kind of asked me about it a couple of times. And I was like, no, good. Like, no, I'm good. And then I got booked for a photo shoot last minute. It was like 3 days notice. So I was like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? So I just agreed to try the wrap. I had awesome results. And then I found out that they also have supplements and greens, and the quality was really good because I'm big on, organic, holistic things like that. So I decided, I'd rather make money than just spend it. So I decided to join as a distributor. And for the first couple weeks, I'm a very big green personality, so I wanted to research. I wanted to know what I was talking about. I looked into, all the products, so I really knew like what I had my hands on. And 2 weeks later, I signed up Johnny. I said, you don't have a choice. We're going to get double paychecks. So, he didn't really believe in the business. He's just like, that's your thing. Have fun. Like, I support you. Do what you want to do. Then I hit Ruby and I got the $500 Ruby bonus. So my paycheck had a comma in it. And he's like, okay, so what is this company? So then he started paying attention and he decided to, support me and talk to more people about it and whatnot. So that was like what, in June? So fast forward to October, I'm sorry. For my birthday, I went Emerald and I earned the $1,000 Emerald bonus. And we were also personal training clients and coaching, and we were bartending at the time. Johnny was working 7 days a week. He was bartending at multiple places as well as managing a club. And I wanted to bring him home. He was never home. So my goal was to retire him. So when he was at work, I would be staying up late, doing personal development, business development, trying to grow my business. So that way I could eventually retire us once, we hit Diamond. So in December, we stepped away from the nightlife completely and started doing It Works full time. In December, is when we really started like pushing. And in January, I received the $10,000 diamond bonus that was announced at conference. In February, Johnny went diamond and also earned his $10,000 bonus. And then just last month, I went double diamond and earned my $30,000 bonus. So it's been a crazy journey since then.
That is so awesome.
That is exciting, especially, an exciting year for sure. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. Well, and I got to share kind of a funny story with you because it was so funny because one day Josh was on the man's.
I was just in the man cave and I was telling her, I was like, dude.
And Johnny I think had a video in there.
Several.
And
he had several at this point.
But it was the first time I had heard him. Yeah. And Josh is sitting next to me. And, if any of you guys have seen Johnny's video, and Natalie, you know this, he's like excited and fired up and like talks really fast. And I'm like, who is this guy? I just didn't even know who it was. And so it was funny because how did I don't even remember how it happened, but right before we went to Phoenix, we found out that he was in our downline and I didn't even know it at the time. And I was like, that was always like my dream. Like, I'm like, one day I just want this like fire couple that is on our team that we don't even know. And that was you guys. So that was pretty funny.
That's so funny.
Crazy.
Johnny started talking to Josh and I was like, oh, that's so crazy because we're on Carrie and Tay's downline, so it all kind of is intertwined. But it was funny how he was telling me about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to conference and conference was incredible. So let me backtrack to September of last year. The only reason why I promoted in October was because we went to an OTOM in September. The things that you learn, the connections you make, the energy that you feel in the room is just incredible. So that really was kind of also what made Johnny catch the vision. He was kind of pushing the business, and then he really started to push the business and post and, be more hands-on after the OTOM, after he met Tay, after he met guys that are also in this industry, So since then, we went to conference, and then this year alone, we've gone to 4 events. 1 month, we went to 3 OTOMs. So the power of events, I don't know if I would be able to promote, so many times. Like we've promoted, Johnny went from Ruby to Diamond. He double promoted. So we've literally promoted 5 times, I think, this year just because of events. Because you learn so much, and it's also what you learn afterwards. If you stick around, you're going to get to meet the ambassadors. You're going to get those pieces of, that nugget information that's going to change your business. Just by you talking with them and them saying that they believe in you and they want you to succeed too. Like that's where it's at. So the events are incredible. Like we're going to an OTOM on Thursday and we can't wait.
That's so awesome. Yeah, it's just like what Josh said earlier. It's like if you are on fire, that event needs you. And if you're in a funk, you need that event. So there's always a reason for an event or to be in an event. And I completely agree with you. It's the magic before and after the events. We always laugh because we'll always say like, we know the people who are going to be really successful in this business because they're the ones that like will hang out until everybody's got, like they will hang out in the lobby of the event just to get a few minutes to sit down and talk with people. But that's where the magic conversations happen. So you're absolutely right. Well, awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Natalie. It's been so fun watching you and Johnny, and I know that this is just the beginning for you guys. So thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's go over to Brandy. Brandy, are you on? Brandy Newhart.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I think Brandy's got the fire back.
Oh, fire's back.
She's got the fire.
I love it. Yeah. If you guys have not seen Brandy's video she made last week, we were like, Brandy is here and she is here to fight. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
So let's just start with you. I know there's a lot of new people here that have not heard your story. I know you shared a little bit about it on the Legacy Makers last week. But if you can just share with everybody a little bit about your story, because I know an event was something that was a game changer for your business and something that really got your business started. But just kind of walk everybody through that
Tell
whole
them
story.
that story quick.
Well, she's going to tell the story.
Yeah.
I'll try not to drag it out. I'll try to make it a quick story. So I'm Brandy. For everyone who doesn't know me, I am Presidential Diamond. I'm from a small town in South Dakota. And I joined the business 5 years ago. Craziness. I can't believe it's been 5 years. So my story is a little bit different than everybody else's. I joined the business and my upline quit right away and I didn't really know what I was doing. And this was when we had that wrap shortage back in 2012. And so I did the auto ship.
Hold on. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, okay, there was a time in 2012 where you could literally our customers could not get wraps for like 12 weeks. There was no wraps. We had such a boom in the business. There was no wraps. So like pretty much everybody quit. They were like, how am I supposed to sell a product I can't even get? But it was high class problems. That was when we saw a lot of growth in our company. But okay.
And here's me still not knowing what was going on and just running an auto ship the whole time. My customers quitting on me. And I was like, whatever. So yeah, I joined April of 2012, the wrap shortage. I did a few parties in the beginning. My upline never even did anything with me. I just got on YouTube and I just found some things and figured out how to do it. Ran my auto shipment, put all the products in a box for the first like 8 months. I was in a group, how you guys get added to groups. I was in a group and I seen Crystal always posting and she was getting ready to go to conference and doing a task force and I had no idea who she was. I messaged her and I'm like, hey, I see that you're making money and you're going to all these places and you're doing this task force. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm on your team, but I need to either make some money or do your task force or I'm going to quit. And come to find out, I'm on her team. I was 10 levels down below her, but people have quit in between us, and now I'm actually on her third. So I started doing the task force. So this is about 9 months into the business now, and I'm ready to work it. I started doing so back, if you guys don't know what a task force is, she was just giving us tasks what to do to build our business and to get ourselves out there. And I started doing some self-development. And I was getting parties, I was getting customers, and I absolutely just hated my job. I was in a bad place. And my husband, Miles, said to quit the job. And at that time, I was making like $200, maybe $300 with It Works. And I quit. And I had no team members, guys. Okay, so now we're into a year into the business, and I still have no team members, and I quit my job. And if you guys know, you can get a $600 bonus if you get 60 loyal customers and you have over 3,000 BV. And I was 26 loyal customers away, and I went and did it. I needed that bonus right now. So my last day with that job was June 3rd, and by June 30th, I had 28 loyal customers, and I got that bonus. And Crystal was talking about, they were called, what were they called then? Boot camps then? No,
Yeah.
they just got back to boot camp.
Yep.
So it was called a boot camp then.
Yep.
So it was in St. Louis, and I actually took out my retirement from this job to go to St. Louis. And I still haven't met Crystal at that point. We talked on the phone and stuff. So me and Miles fly to St. Louis, and we meet Crystal and Josh for the first time. And it was just I don't even know how to explain it. It was just big, wide, like there it is, a light bulb. I had no team members, and this was 15 months in the business. So at boot camp, we met Mark. They came, Mark and Louise, and I think it was just Mark and Louise. Maybe Pam was there. Mark, Cindy, and Louise. And if you guys don't know who Louise is, he's the creator of the wrap. They walked into the restaurant where we were at and just came out and just chatting with everyone. They knew Crystal from Dash and everything else, and came up, gave us hugs, and just introduced themselves. And I'm like in awe. I'm like, this is our CEO, and he's just giving me a hug, taking pictures with us, and it was crazy. So after the event, I came out of there flying colors. I went Ruby the next month, and Crystal said I needed to go to conference. So what did we do?
Brandy was a good listener.
Good listener. So she's like, you need to go to conference. Well, we didn't really have money to go to conference, so Miles took out a loan on his 401k, and we went to conference. So this was August. I went Ruby. We bought the tickets in September to go to conference, which was in January. We went to conference as a Ruby, and I came out of there running. Like I said, these you're going to go to an event and you're going to relate with someone, and each event I go to for each stage of my life that I'm in at that point, I relate to someone, and I'm like, my fire's back and I'm ready to go again. So at that point, I was Ruby, came out of there. I went 2 months later, I went from Ruby to Diamond in the same month. I went Emerald, and then the next 2 days I went Diamond, got that $10,000 bonus. The next month after that, I went to Double, and I got a $15,000 bonus. And the month after that, Miles went Diamond and got a $10,000 bonus. And then we got comfortable. We're like, cool, we're making $6,000 a month. Holy cow, this is more money we've ever seen in our lives. And we start spending, and we're going on trips, and I wasn't working as much. And I tell people I'm honest with it. I lost my Double for a few months and lost that bonus, and I'm like, what in the world? So got back to another event. I have not missed a green carpet or a conference, and boot camps I try to get to, but otherwise any big corporate event I am at. So I got back my Double. We went to another, then it was conference again, and I'm like, I'm going triple. Well, I didn't hit it when I wanted to, but then they brought out the bonuses again, and I went to green carpet in July, and I got back we had like another week left in July yet, and I hit triple that month and got a $25,000 bonus. 8 months later, I went presidential right after conference. Just, you come out there, I'm not kidding. When she says your paychecks double or triple, they do. Like every time I go to an event, I'm promoting or someone's promoting on my team. And it's like that fire is just lit again. And like my fire is back. So I'm excited for green carpet this time. So I can't wait to see where I'm going after this next one.
Absolutely. So all of your big booms have been after events, and
Yep.
let me know if you don't agree with this, but I think for me, like what it is that, you fill your tank, right? So you fill it full of gas and you can go really fast and you can push hard, but eventually you're going to run out of gas. Like your car is going to run out of gas. Like there's no way around that. Like it's just going to happen. So I always explain it like events, it's our time to refill our tank. And what I've seen is people that have, gone to these places where they're really successful and they almost get to this point where they think they're too good for the event, or they think like, what am I going to learn? I've already learned everything that I can learn type of thing. And they're the people that we kind of see fizzle out because they don't continue to go to events. They don't continue to plug in. And so, I mean, I think that that's a huge point right there. Success leaves clues.
Show up to the event with an open heart, open mind, and ready to freaking learn. Take some notes.
Yeah.
You already know everything. You can't learn anything, right? We can preach, but if you already know everything, we can't teach you nothing. So show up with an open mind, open heart, and an open book. You got to take some notes.
Absolutely. So,
Exactly.
So real quick, just talk to everybody, because there's probably some people on here that are maybe in a similar situation. They've been in the business a little while, don't have anybody on their team yet. What advice could you give to them? Because I love the fact that your business didn't start like this. Like it took a while. It took over a year. Most people would have given up. So what advice can you give to somebody who's maybe in the same place?
Like I said, I started that self-development, and you have to believe in yourself. And if you're not using the products, it wasn't until I was really consistently using the products that I seen that the greens totally changed everything for me. And then, the skincare, you guys all seen my before and afters of everything. So, I mean, get to become a product of the product. And if one product isn't working for you or you don't like it, then switch to something else. Because I'm a product junkie. Like, you're going to see my counter, you're going to see my shower, you're going to see my everything. I'm using the products constantly. And I have to share this. I was at the gym today, and I was all day. I mean, I had my It Works hat on, my It Works workout clothes, and I even had It Works socks on today. I took off my shoes, and I was stretching out, and someone walked by, and they're like, really? They even have socks? And I said, we got it all. We do. I'm like, you know what? I'm always sharing everything. Like I'm decked out in my stuff all the time. My Snapchats. I'm always sharing my products. Like, become a product of the product and believe in the products. You have to believe in the products. And if you don't love and believe in the products and have passion for this, you're not going to go anywhere, really. I mean, and it took some self-development in there, and I've come a long way with self-development from this.
I love it. It's so true. And just a little side note on that, just because it made me think of it, so many times people are like, gosh, I don't want to annoy my friends. I don't want to always be posting about the business. I don't want to always be like advertising. That's why our gear is so awesome, because you can always be wearing your gear and you're going to constantly be branding yourself. So don't feel like you need to always be. Actually, that's when those socks came out. Like, I was like, this is great for Instagram, because I was like, this is a great, like, have your feet up on a chair in front of the fireplace and you have your It Works socks on, So doing things like that, like, people are going to be like, what is this all about that she's always wearing? Or obviously she loves it. She's always wearing it. So that's just like a little side note about branding yourself with this business.
I'll just say, Brandy just said that she loves the products. They've changed her life. She said she absolutely loves the green. She loves the skincare. She loves the gear. And to the person that is afraid of annoying their friends, if you're afraid to post about something that you love and they're not going to support you in that, then they're probably not your friend. So I would not worry about annoying anybody. If you want to share whatever you want, you can share whatever the heck you want. And if you love it and you're going to stand behind it and believe in it, there is nobody that should be annoyed by that. If they call you out on it, you tell them to unfollow you.
Exactly. I'm going to share with you guys that, like, the ones who I thought were my friends, they're not my friends. Like, we're not friends anymore. They blocked me on Facebook, and I don't talk to them anymore. But guess what? That's their loss.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, you have to get rid of the negative and the toxic people.
That's right. And this is a whole personal development thing, because at times, if somebody's sour towards you, you want to come right back at them and just give them a whack. You want to like light them up, like, what was that you said? But just remember that the non-believers are your future potentials. So the way, Crystal uses it as a way to educate people. If somebody comes at her on one of her posts, she leaves it there. She'll leave that, rude comment, whatever it is, right there in front of everybody, for everybody to see. And then it'll be her comment right underneath it, kind of educating the person. So, yeah.
I've told a couple people this, but I had a situation a couple months ago where there was this girl and she said something. I don't even remember what she said now, but it was just kind of a rude comment. And my instant reaction was to just delete it. Cause I'm like, I don't want that crap on my post. Like, why would she even put that there? But I just took a minute to like breathe. And then I was like, no, I'm confident in my products. I'm confident in this business. And so I just took the time to write up like a really good post about and educate her. Oh, it was something about the business, like sustaining the business. I did a post about this in Legacy Makers. But anyways, I just came back at her, and it's stuff like that, just use it as a tool to educate people, because it's going to show more confidence than you deleting it. You know what I mean? Leaving it on there and you having a comeback, not a rude comeback, just let me educate you on this kind of comeback. It's going to show more confidence.
She says she took a breath. If you're somebody that might not be that confident yet, or you don't have the tools to come at them and educate them, your breath could be going on the Legacy Makers quick and saying, shit, somebody just hit me with this. Can you guys come up with something quick?
Help me with the comeback.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's okay to not know, but come back with the right answer, right?
Absolutely.
Go out there, use your resources.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. Thanks, Brandy, for getting on and sharing your story. I love it. All right, let's go over to Mabel. Mabel, are you on?
Yes, I am on. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Good. How are you? You guys can't see me. I'm in my car. I just got off work.
Perfect.
Mabel, we keep seeing your name pop up. Mabel's on fire. What the heck is up?
I don't know. I literally am on fire. Like, I am not stopping.
Well, you better know, because we want to know.
I know. I'm signing up a loyal customer and a distributor right now, too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're just like, what happened with Mabel? But like, whatever Kool-Aid she's drinking, I want some of it, because you have just had a killer last couple of months. So we're super excited for you and for your business and where you're headed. We know that we're going to see huge things from you. So let's just start with a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the business, what your rank is, and just share with everybody a little bit about your story.
All right. I am 27 years old. I live in Kansas City. And I started the business. It'll be 2 years, July 27th. And Kayla and I worked together as we worked together at a bar, and we were really good friends. And I had done network marketing before, and I failed miserably, which I know now why I failed, because I, expected one post to bring in $10,000 a month. And obviously that wasn't the case. And I know now. And so I swore I was never, ever, 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 ever going to do network marketing again. And when Kayla said, I'm doing this crazy rap thing, like, you should do it with me, you would be so good, you're such a people person, I looked at her like, girl, did you not hear me tell you that I'm never doing that again? Like, you're crazy, don't talk to me about it again. And she bugged me for 6 months. And it didn't really click in my mind until I was already working 5 nights a week. I was already away from my then 4-year-old son, who I take care of by myself. I pay the babysitter. The preschool that I wanted to send him was going to cost me $400 a month. And it was the school that I had been researching for a long time. It was the only school that I really wanted to send him to, considering it wasn't something he needed to do. It was something I wanted him to do. So I wanted to make sure it was something worth it. And they told me that I didn't qualify for assistance, so I was going to have to pay $100 a week. And that was not anywhere in my budget. I didn't even, after bills were paid, I barely had anything left over, because as a bartender and as a waitress, like, you're not guaranteed to make a certain amount of money every night. So I couldn't budget monthly, until I finished my work week. So I was really upset about it. And Kayla just came to me and was like, you should totally do this. You can sell wraps. A box of wraps will make you your $100 for that week. Like, that's literally all you need to do. You would be amazing at this. And I kept saying, like, I know, but, I don't have the $99, which in reality I really did. I could have made it. But it was just a reason and an excuse not to do it. And then we bartended a wedding together, and I just kept hearing her just tell me all these amazing things about the business and what it's done for Brandy and what it's done for her. And I was just like, you know what, let's do it. I'll totally do it. So I did it, and I was just like Brandy. I sat there for 5 months and did nothing. I was really embarrassed. My friends kept saying, you're selling wraps, like, you smoke cigarettes and you drink like crazy and you're selling health products. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this. So I kept it a secret and I didn't tell anyone. I had some close friends at the bar that I was like, hey, I know you're stressed out all the time. I sell stress, I have some pills that you could probably take that I know you'd like, but don't tell anyone I'm selling this to you. And so I got my first 4 customers and, I kind of just kept it a quiet. I mean, I was a product of the products. I took my greens. My son and I are obsessed with them. He went his whole preschool and kindergarten year to this day still and has never missed school for being sick. We even got his preschool teacher on board with the greens because she's like, what the hell? Like, everyone in class has been sick except your child. And I still didn't want to tell anyone. So I took my son to Florida for the first time in November. Not anything It Works related, and just watching his face, when he saw the beach for the first time just made me realize, like, I have to do something different. And I didn't realize what I had my hands on when it came to that point. I thought I maybe just needed to go work a 9-to-5 job, so I could be home with him, get paid vacations, stuff like that. And I've never worked 9 to 5. I've always worked 4 to 2, 4 o'clock at night to 2 o'clock in the morning. My whole entire working career, I've never done anything other than work in the service industry. So I was freaking myself out. So then when conference got announced, Kayla messaged me, and I remember the exact message. It was like, oh my God, conference is in February. I know you just went to Florida, but you have to go again. You have to. Like, she was telling me, like, you are not going to miss this. I'm basically going to drag you. And I was like, ain't got to tell me twice to go to Florida. Like, I'll go, but I'm not really wanting to go to conference. And she's like, well, you have to. And I was like, okay, fine. I went. Kayla got me to executive, and of course, since, I really wasn't wanting to work the business, I, lost my executive rank and went to just as a distributor. So I went to conference as an executive getting paid as a distributor. I had no idea how the business worked. I had no idea how anything really worked. I was literally like the most clueless person in the world. Anything that I looked at really confused me. So I went to conference, and literally it was like I became a totally different person. I remember I went through every single person on my Facebook page, on my Facebook, and just messaged, hi, how are you? Like, even if I didn't know them, just because I wanted to start building a relationship with people, because it was something that happened. It was probably when Ashley Sinclair ran up on stage and said, hey, girl, hey, because that's what I say to everybody. Hey, girl, hey is like my thing. If if I say it in a room, like in a dark room full of all people, they know it came from me, because that's just like what I say. And I think at that moment is when I realized, like, oh my God, I think this is a sign. I'm right where I need to be. So conference literally changed my whole life. I signed my very first distributor the last day of conference, who is still on my team. She still works her business, and she's awesome. And then 3 weeks later, in that same month, I went Ruby. And like I said, I had no idea what the hell I was doing, but I just couldn't stop. People were joining my team left and right, and I just didn't know how to stop working. And then 3 weeks after that, 4 days before the end of March, I went Emerald and got the $2,000 Emerald bonus. And then Kayla and I pulled out, a diamond chart for me. And I was like, what the hell? There's no way in hell I am going to, fill this. There's so many people left that I need. And then 4 days later, I got boxed for diamond. So it was just an amazing experience. And if it wasn't for going to conference, I really honestly don't believe that I would even be in this business, because conference literally changed everything. The Rise Up song is my morning song still to this day, over a year later, that I listen to every single morning, because listening to Mark stand up on stage and talk about, fighting for your freedom and fighting for your children. And, even if you're in a really bad place in your life, there's always something better out there. But staying where you are, staying stuck and wondering why you are where you are isn't going to change anything. And I think that's what really made me realize that. I just, as a single mom, I really just had no idea what to do. Like, if I do this, and that's going to happen. And if I do this, and that's going to happen. And I really just I was stuck. And so those words that he said up there, with the Rise Up song, kind of just changed my whole mentality. Like, do something so crazy that you call yourself crazy, but do it to the point where you're showing everybody else that it can be done. So fast forward, so I went Emerald, got boxed for diamond, and then 4 weeks later, Kayla and I went went diamond and double diamond, and that just experience changed just everything for me. I think that just put a little fire in my soul and just made me realize, like, what this business can do. Seeing a paycheck that had a comma in it was just absolutely amazing. considering the only money that I put in my bank account is the cash that I have from the bar. So seeing something that big get deposited into my account was just like, holy cow, like I can go Ambassador Diamond and make $37,000 a month because, like to me, that was unbelievable.
Mhm.
So, but then I got really comfortable and I got really burnt out. I was at Kayla's house every single day, working our business, talking to people. I got really sick of hearing people's excuses as to why they couldn't work their business. I got really sick of people telling me that they couldn't order the products that they wanted because they didn't have any money, but then I would see them at the bar that night. So I got really burnt out and I got really upset. And I think that is where a huge turning point in my life happened. That's when I really figured out why personal development is 100% gold and you need to do it, even if you're not in a business like this. Because I got lost. I got really depressed about, am I even good enough to do this? Can I even do this? Do I even want to do this for the rest of my life? And this happened for quite a while. But still, even in my state where I just was really uncomfortable with myself, I never missed a One Team One Mission, and I never missed an event that I could go to. Ashley Sinclair had a Diamonds and Above, or had a Dash to Diamond training event when I was Emerald, and I hadn't been boxed for Diamond yet. And I brought 2 of my personal team members, and then I met up with a whole bunch of other people that went, and that just fired me up. And then Kayla and I drove to Brandy's very first One Team One Mission as a presidential, I believe, in Minnesota. Was it? No, in South Dakota. We went to South Dakota twice for a One Team One Mission. So even when I really wasn't knowing if I wanted to do this business anymore, I still went to the events because I know how much conference changed my life. And I really needed something more to tell me that I'm in the right spot at the right time. And then I went to Green Carpet. I couldn't afford to go to Green Carpet, but I made it happen anyways. I drove my car. I had a couple girls come with me with my 5-year-old, and we just made it work. And Green Carpet changed my life. Like just hearing everybody else stand up there and say, like, I was, exactly where you are, and this is where I'm at now because I just didn't quit. And so I just kept telling myself, even if you're not happy with what you're doing, just don't quit. So I didn't. And I will say that I was in a funk from about May until about last week. Like a lot of people don't realize that, and a lot of people don't know that because I've only missed 2 months out of the whole entire over a year. So since February of 2016 until right now, I've only missed 2 months where I didn't enroll a single distributor. But each month I've always enrolled more than 4 customers. So a lot of people were like, oh my God, you're so successful. Like, how do you keep doing it? And, deep down I was like, I'm not. Like, I just don't feel like what I'm doing is good enough. And I just didn't have my fire. I just kept posting, and people just kept saying, like, I want to do what you do. What do you do? And I did the best that I could in the funk that I was in. And then I went to boot camp with not one person on my team, not one person even on our team. I went with a whole bunch of sideline sisters. And just knowing that I don't need to be with people on my team. I can be on somebody else's team, and I can still get just as fired up, and I can still get just as motivated. And just being around all those people, I went with my girlfriend that I met. It hasn't even been a whole entire year yet, Letitia. She's on Lori Conway's team, and that girl has had an amazing story, and she has been built and then dropped down and then built again and then dropped down. And just being around her and seeing how much motivation she has in her heart to change everybody else's life. Like, she's not even worried about herself. She's like, I'm changing your life and your life and your life and your life. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like that's where I'm missing the part. I was so worried about changing my life so much that I didn't realize that I needed to change everybody else's life first. And so going to boot camp really changed a lot for me, especially because Ashley Sinclair ran it, and, that's my girl. So I talked to Tisha, and I was like, listen, this is how I feel. This is what I am going through. Like, what do I do? And she was like, keep doing what you're doing because it'll come back when the time is right. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. About the end of last week, I had it made up in my mind, which I've only shared this with 2 people. Tisha being one of them, and one of the girls on my team who just joined. She is really kind of confused at what to do next. And I told her last week that I wanted to quit. I hadn't made up my mind that I wasn't going to do this anymore. My son and I don't have a really good relationship right now, and I feel like it's because I'm always on my phone. I'm always worried about what everybody else is doing and what everybody else, needs, that I really wasn't focusing on him. And so I told myself I was going to quit. And Saturday morning, I had a women's brunch at church, and I sat at a table with my best friend, Nina, who got me to church, a lady that was about 80 years old, a lady that was about 60, and another one that was about 30. And I sat there and I listened to them tell me their whole life story. And there was one thing that this lady said that stuck with me, and that made me realize, like, I'm not quitting because this is what I was made to do. And she said, I wish somebody would have given me an opportunity that was so crazy I had to say yes. And that's exactly how I feel about this opportunity now. And it literally lit a fire in my soul that I'm messaging everyone that I haven't spoken to in forever and saying, you're crazy for not doing this because it's so crazy. It could change your life. And like that girl who has told me she wasn't going to join for the longest time because she's not as pretty as me, or she's not as successful as me. And I kept saying, you can't, like whatever I said to her. And she's like, you know what? Because you just shared your story with me, I'm going to join your team because I want what you have and you can teach me how to do that. And so to me, being around other people, like I watched this 80-year-old lady cry right next to me and tell me that she has so much life to live and she wants to do something absolutely crazy that she's never done before. I mean, I offered the business to her because I was like, well, I have something for you, but she wasn't interested, but see. But just being around somebody who's gone through life wishing they would have done something so crazy made me realize that I'm not going to be that person. And another thing is, I have a tattoo on my back that I regret. I mean, I've regretted it for years. And it was so crazy. Anna and I were driving to the One Team, One Mission. And I don't know what we were talking about, but when people always say, can I see your tattoo? I'm like, no, I got it when I was 17 years old. It's so dumb. Like, I'm not telling you what it is. And it literally clicked in my brain that I got that tattoo for a reason, because it says, I don't want to wonder, I want to know. And I was telling Anna that you can sit there and wonder if this business is for you, or you can just do it and find out. And then I was like, oh my God, that totally matches the tattoo that I have. And I was like, oh my God, like I got that tattoo for a reason. And so it's just like everything is literally like coming together like puzzle pieces that I thought I was losing. And really it was just God's way of telling me, like, you needed to lose yourself for a whole entire year to really find yourself. I mean, I've gone through a lot the past couple weeks, so I had a lot of reasons to quit. And at the end of the day, like, I got a text message earlier today saying, like, you are an amazing person and you're an even better friend, from somebody that I'm not really friends with. And I'm friends with her because of this business, but we never really spoke beforehand. She just said, hey, what are you doing? I want to do it. And hearing somebody say that to me is just amazing, because I know I'm in the right spot at the right time. And I know it really just took not quitting. Even if I didn't do anything, it just took not quitting to make me realize, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So,
oh my gosh,
eventually,
I feel like you just gave an ambassador speech.
yeah, I kind of have chills right now. Like,
I thought I was on fire before, but
I know, it's so crazy.
And I love what you said about, that you were in a funk, but you just kept doing it. Because I think so many times, like, I know I've had seasons like that in my business where I wasn't as excited, or I didn't feel like doing it, or life was getting in the way. I've been the same way. But I think that's one thing that I've always done too, is that I've been consistent about going to the events, whether I feel like going to them or not, doing the things. Like so many times I think people get in a funk and they just stop. They stop working, they stop posting, they stop going to events. And then of course it's going to take them out of the business, but sometimes you just need to keep putting one foot in front of the other. It's like when you're going to the gym, like there's days that you're not going to feel like doing it, or you're going to be in a slump and you're not going to be seeing results, but you just have to go and you just have to do the steps. You have to do the thing over and over again. Then you're going to eventually get to where you want to be. So I love your story. I didn't even know that much of it. And it's so awesome, because you're right. Like your journey is happening exactly like it should be. And the ups and the downs are all there for a reason. They're such an important piece of the puzzle. And so thanks for sharing that with us. That was amazing. I love you, girl.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. There is one thing that I want to say. The personal development that I've been doing is by Gabrielle Bernstein. She's written like 1 million books. Literally, she is gold. She speaks right to you. I have done a lot of her meditation training, which I don't have time to sit there and meditate, but you will make time with this woman. She literally, all the stories that she tells and all the people that she has share their story, I have picked at least, a good portion of each one of them, and I was able to really relate to it in some way or another. And you're right about the whole journey. Like, it's all happening the way that it's supposed to, not the way that I want it to, but it's meant to be this way. So she helped it a lot. So Gabrielle Bernstein for personal development for sure. But thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you for
Thanks,
being
Mabel.
on. Okay, we have one more. I know we're running a little behind, but this has all been good stuff. So can't cut it
Dang
short.
good.
Can't cut it short. So Amelia, are you on?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So,
Another rock star in the house.
and I know this is a good Zoom. I'm already on. I'm so excited. Okay, so share with everybody a little bit about yourself, your name, how long you've been in, and a little bit about your story. And if that just ties into the power of an event, you just go for it.
Okay. Oh boy. So my name is Amelia and I live in Cloquet. I've been in the business technically since July 2011. And I say technically because when I signed up, I think my exact words were, I'll sign up to help you out, but I am not going to work this business. I'm not interested. I don't have the time. It took her, I think, 3 months just to get me to try a wrap, and I did, and I absolutely loved it, and I am definitely a green personality. I had to spend that 3 months researching it and all of that stuff. And so I loved the product, and I was like, yeah, definitely, I want to use them more if it helps you out. You can sign me up as a distributor. I didn't really know what that meant. She said, well, do you think you're going to want to be ordering every month? And I was like, yep. So that's what we did. And I pretty much for a whole year just got wraps. I used the defining gel. Didn't really do anything more than that. Some of you know my story that I have suffered from digestive disorders pretty much my entire life and have really struggled with them. And at that time was really struggling with them. And I did not dare put anything into my system at all, just because I was having allergies to everything. It didn't matter what I ate. And so I was really cautious about what I was using. Well, so that summer, it was summer of 2012, I actually went to Mayo Clinic, and I was there for a week, and they decided that my intestinal system had completely shut down and they wanted to do electrical shock therapy on my intestinal muscles. And kind of like, okay, if that's what it takes, I'll do it. So while our insurance actually denied it, and while I was going through the appeal process, and this, at the same time, the whole wrap shortage was happening, and this is how bad it was. I didn't even realize I wasn't getting my monthly orders of wraps like for a couple of months. Like, it just didn't even occur to me. And I had a lot of other stuff going on, so that's probably why. I also at the time was a special ed teacher and was very busy with that. We have 3 kids, 2 of them that are in hockey, and I also waitressed Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday morning. So there really wasn't much time anyways. But so it was, I believe in September, back up, August 2012, I was starting a new teaching job, and I asked for some time off from my waitressing job to get my classroom set up, and the supervisor at the restaurant told me no. She's like, you're our weekend server, you can't take it off. And I said, I have to get my classroom set up, like that's my main job. And she's like, no, sorry. And then I was like, well, I quit. Like, it's just, this is my part-time job. I can't do anything about it. And so I quit. And that paid for my products. It was my fun money. That was, my extra. And so I lasted about 2 weeks and was like, crap, I don't have money to buy my wraps this month or anything like that. And actually said something to my husband about, can we look at our budget, see if I can get it from somewhere else? And he just kind of looked at me with this dumb look on his face, and he's like, don't you pay to like sell that stuff? Because then it's worked really well for you. I had lost almost 3 pant sizes just using wraps in that year. It's like, why wouldn't you just sell it? I'm like, I don't sell things. I don't do parties. I'm very introverted. I'm very shy. I'm like, I don't do that kind of stuff. And he was like, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, you can go back to waitressing, I guess. And about that same time, they announced conference, and it was in Florida. And so I was having a conversation with my upline just about, okay, I need to start selling these wraps or doing something because I need the extra money. And she had mentioned that there was conference in Florida and it was going to be really fun and it was good training. And all I heard was it was in Florida in January, and I wanted to go to Florida in January. And so my husband was like, yeah, you can go if you want, but you got to figure out how you're going to pay for it. And that was honestly like my first, like, okay, I need to actually work this business. And that was my first goal, was I just wanted to be able to pay for conference. Well, in this time, my insurance had denied our the therapy. And so I was going through the appeal, and I was really sick. That school year before, I missed 28 days of school from teaching. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with teaching, but when you miss that much, you generally end up having to pay out of your own pocket for the subs, plus not get paid. So it was kind of a costly thing for me too. And so my upline again said, why don't you just give the greens and the core nutrition a shot? Like, at this point, is it really going to hurt you? And I was really like, I don't think so. But I was like, well, why not? And so I did. I started on the core nutrition and then implemented the greens. And I honestly tell people that I did not have a very good response to them at first. I actually ended up in the emergency room with hives all over my body. But it was a detoxing thing for me. And I would say probably in about 6 to 8 weeks, my whole system started working again. I was feeling amazing. I never did go do the therapy. I was on 8 prescription medications, got off all of them after a few more months, and it literally changed my life. And so about this time when all this was happening, conference came around, and I went to conference as a distributor, and was just, I think I spent most of the time crying. And I think there was just a small group of us, maybe 4 or 5 of us, that went together and pretty much sat and cried the whole time. And I don't remember what her name was, but there was a gal that had just gone double diamond, and she was up on stage and she was talking about how she was a 2nd grade teacher and she was going to be quitting her teaching job and all that stuff. And it was like, holy cow, like, if she can do this, I can do this, because I'm just a teacher, or, you know, just a waitress, whatever. Like, there's no reason that I can't do it. And it really clicked for me as far as like, this is an actual business and there's real people making real money. And hearing Dr. Don talk about the products just made me like go, they literally saved my life. And I tell people that all the time, like, it was life changing. So it just made sense to go for the diamond bonus. And so that was January 2013. And by the end of March, I went diamond and earned that bonus, and it was a whirlwind. Like, people were like, how'd you do it? And I'm like, I don't know. I know that there were days where I had 2 parties on Saturday and 2 parties on Sunday. And I was meeting with people, every day after work or during my lunch break or whenever. Like, it was crazy, but it was definitely worth it. And I would say that every promotion that I've had has come after an event of some sort, whether it be conference or I think you had a boot camp in March in 2015, and I went double right after that. And then last year went to conference and went triple after that. So it's just something about that, making those connections and getting your cup filled up. And I love hearing all the stories of all the lives being changed. And so many people were asking me, what are you doing? You were so sick. What, you look better, you sound better, what's going on? And so it was easy to start sharing it, just to talk about what it had done for me. So I don't know, but I can tell you, I don't know, somebody had said, if you're feeling down, or if you're having a bad, I think it was Cammie said, if you're feeling down or if you're having a bad day, get to a wrap party, get with your wrap sisters, just do something. And we've had a lot of stuff go on in our life in the past year, and it's been very up and down, family-wise, life-wise, business-wise, everything. But on those worst days, doing something for my business or getting with the wrap people in my life, it's what's kept us going. So it's been one of those things. So even if it's a small event, even if it's a team meeting where there's 5 of us, it's life-changing, which is something I think is really special.
Absolutely. Activity removes negativity. So if you're feeling down, you just need to go. But I love that. And I love your story. Your testimony is absolutely amazing. I've heard it so many times. So every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy what these products can do for you. And I know, like, for you, you're one of my favorite people to share about the power of personal development, because, like, I know just what this has done for you. Like, when I first met you, there's no way in hell you would have came on this Zoom tonight and shared your story. And we've just been able to turn into this amazing, powerful leader. And we're just so proud of you.
You said, I'll join you to help you out, but I won't sell it. That kind of sums it up. That kind of says it all. I think quote of the night is Amelia saying, it was crazy, but it was worth it.
Yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
was definitely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and hopping on with us tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to end with this. All of these people's stories are absolutely amazing. But the reason that I asked them to be on is because we've seen what events have done for their business. And so many of them, some of you we know better than others, but, we were in the position where we were the upline that was the one saying, you got to get to these events. They're going to change your life. Just trust us. Do what you got to do to get there. You heard people that said they took out loans, they couldn't afford it, whatever it may be. But look what happened because of that event. And look at what happened in their lives because of that event. So, like I said, we have Michigan Boot Camp is coming up this weekend. I know there's a handful of you guys going to that. Get ready. Take notes. Don't sleep. Go early to the event. Stay up all night long at the event. Like, you can sleep when you get home. Take away as many nuggets from the event as possible, because it will change your business. And then we have Green Carpet coming up. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because Green Carpet is actually one of my favorite events. Conference is the one you have to get to. If you can only make it to one event, that's like the Super Bowl. You have to go to conference. But Green Carpet is my second favorite event. And the reason is because we get a lot of time as a team to connect. So we rent this, or have a room block at this little old school Florida hotel, Siesta Key Resorts, but it's right in Siesta Key. It's on one of the most beautiful beaches in Florida. It's a town that you can walk everywhere, and we get to really just spend a lot of time together, just brainstorming and sharing ideas and becoming closer as a wrap family, and it's super, super amazing. So if you can do anything to get there, get there. You will not regret it. It will change your business. It's June 22nd through the 24th. Are the days of the event, and tickets are going to go on sale this Saturday at 5 p.m. So what I'm going to tell you is, if you have any inkling that you want to go or you're thinking about going, get your ticket, because you're going to get a box of wrap rewards with the ticket. You're going to sell those 4 wraps in your wrap rewards. You're going to make $100. You're going to make your money right back. Get your ticket ASAP, because this event will sell out, and it will sell out very fast. So be ready to go. Get your ticket. Don't worry about the logistics at this point. Just get your ticket and be ready to go.
Yeah, like Crystal said, just if you think that this is something you want to do, if you want to get to that event, if you want to go to Green Carpet, get the ticket. Just get the ticket, because it's going to sell out, and then you're not going to have an option to go. So get the ticket, and then you could even throw it on the Legacy Makers or whatever. I bought my ticket. I don't know how I'm getting there, and I don't know where I'm staying. And within, I bet you in the same day, you're going to figure out how you're going to get there and where you're staying, because they call this the crazy wrap biz, because there's some crazy people in here, and we figure it out, right? But there's a handful of leaders that have just figured it out through the years. This event and many others, rooming together or carpooling together and whatever. I'd also say the same thing for the Grand Rapids training coming up here, because it's going to be a powerful one. It's going to be really, really good. If you're thinking you can make it to Michigan, but you're not sure how you're going to get there yet or where you're going to stay, throw it out on the Legacy Makers and say, I'm interested in heading out to Michigan. Is anybody going? Or is there a carpool that I could maybe catch a ride with, whatever, because I'm guessing that you could probably figure it out. So if you really, really want to go, just throw it out there. Throw it out there on the Legacy Makers page, and I'm sure we can figure something out.
Absolutely. Do something crazy. Just get your ticket. And like I said, if you need people to team up with, to carpool, to room with, whatever, reach out to Josh and I too. We will definitely help find somebody for you. You know, because we want as many of you there as possible. I don't care if there's 8 of you sleeping in a room together. It's going to be worth it. And the event's going to change your life. So do whatever you can do to get there, because events change lives and events will change your business forever. So thank you guys so much for being on. I know we're already over the time. We try to keep these at an hour, but I appreciate you guys being on more than you will know. Thank you to everybody who shared with us tonight. And we're going to end with that, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night, guys.